Greetings, everyone. This is Kimberly from Dreams to Travel, your personal travel specialist. And I wanted to jump back on and just show you a little bit more about TravelJoy. So I've been booking some groups, and that's one of the things that I love to do. I do specialize in the Caribbean, and I do solo trips. I do couples, romance travel, destination weddings, honeymoons, things of that nature. But my absolute favorite is groups. So affinity groups, whether it is a class reunion, whether it is a family reunion, whether it is an affinity group like fraternities or sororities, or just a girls group, bachelor, um, guys group out of the country, bachelorette, girls trips, all of that. Any kind of group that you would think of, that is my absolute favorite to do. So what I wanted to do is go on to TravelJoy and kind of show you exactly what we do to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I have all these notifications coming up, so please excuse that um, as we go on here. So I'm going to go to my dashboard. Here's my dashboard, and we are going to go ahead and start creating that group. So I'm going to come over here on the left-hand side for our menu and click on create. And of course, you see trip, you see group, you see client, but we're going to do a group trip. So in here, it gives you the template. We can go ahead and start. And this is for demonstration purposes only. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start from the top, choose our photo, and you can either go through their library. You can upload if you have some pictures already and you want to use something that's original. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to choose Cancun for this particular trip. Very easy. It's nice and pretty and vibrant. So we want to go ahead and do this. And we want to say this is going to be our Cancun. And we're going to say, oh, sip. It's a girls trip. All right. So now we want to say what our dates are. Pop-up calendar, and we're going to say November. So we're going to do November, and we are going to do November 17th. That Thursday is a long weekend, and through the 21st. And again, we already have it up here, so we're going to choose Cancun. And we're going to create our trip. So now we have that. This is our landing page, and this is what your clients will see when they click on the trip that you have created. So got a lot of group headers up here, but we first want to go over here to the blue button on the right-hand side, and we want to create. We want to create our booking page. So this is going to be the information that's given to your clients so that they can actually select the package that they want to do. So the difference again, and I'm not sure if you've seen the other videos that I've placed out, the difference between the two, which is direct and supplier. Direct means that they are going to pay you. So TravelJoy can be set up to where they actually load funds directly to you. Or you can do the supplier, and that means that they are going to authorize payment so that you can use their financial information and be able to pay the supplier, your vendor. All right, so that's the one that I'm going to use because I want to not get into that sticky business of being paid and if anything happens. All right, so here we go. We're going to put our name up here again, and I'm just going to copy this right here. If I can, doesn't look like I can, sorry. So we're going to just put this up here, Cancun, oh sip, it's a girls trip. And at this point, we have our group name. And notice these are the three parts that we are going to do. So we're going to do a description, and that just gives them an explanation of what is going to happen, what they should see once they start getting deeper into the booking page. The pricing, this is where you can load up your information for your group. So your packages, whether it's going to be a garden view room option, if it's going to be a partial ocean view option, if it's going to be an oceanfront option. So these are the particular packages, places where the packages will be. And then the third one is the traveler info. So this is where you will gather their information. All right, so we're working with our description. So I have one that's already pulled up that I've done, because what I do is I just cut and paste some of the information that will be the same. So I'm going to actually cut and paste this part, because in every trip, it already gives you a template. This information we're going to customize. So we're going to hold off on this. We're going to customize this part. So we're going to go past this, and we are going to cut and paste what is included on the trip. So notice that trip is actually for Punta Cana. Okay, these young ladies are not going to Punta Cana, and they're not staying at the Breathless. So we're going to delete that part. But they will be at an all-inclusive resort with accommodation. So we're going to keep that portion there. It will include round trip transfers. So that's the ground transportation. It will include that. It will include travel protection, their insurance if they accept it. And as a gift for being my clients, I usually include a swag bag that just has some nice little welcome to your destination and thank you gifts in there. So that is what is included. I am going to place on here, because for this particular one, we are going to include their flights from the originating city. All right, so we're going to include that. So I'm going to go back to one that's already in progress and let them know what's not included. So what's not included is the excursions. I am going to give them suggestions, but what they are paying for at this point in time is their reservation. And they're reserving their reservation at the resort. So what's not included is the excursion options, but I do give them a listing of what they can do. And because I am linked to a couple of travel agent platforms on some excursion vendors like Viator, Island Routes. So I put those links in connected to me. So if they book through the link, then of course, hey, we're getting that commission. So that is how I suggest it, but I don't plan it. So I let them plan what they want to do, but I definitely give them trusted excursion opportunities through trusted vendors. The other thing that's not included, I let them know that the gratuity for any service staff, so their ground transportation, their butler, their wait staff at any restaurant, at any hotel, that's not included, but I want to put that in their mind so that they can also please be gracious to the service staff. And then the last thing is, I always kind of tell them about the payment plan. So I'm going to copy and paste this. And so that's a standard that I put in as well. And so I'm going to change the date on this because their final payments, because we are going in November, and that's about right. September is a good date, so we'll keep that. And this again is for demonstration only, but I want to make it as real as possible so that you'll know how to work this out. But of course, if you're like me, your vendor package will give that final date. So we're just going to keep this particular date because that seems to be about 45 days out from their travel. So with this, I just want to check and make sure that this will fit this particular package. So when they are booking their package, they know that they want to put everything on there that's included, even though they're only paying for their room reservation. The first payment is going to be just a deposit. So I always put in here about the non-refundable deposit, unless they want to pay more. If they are including the excursion, when they do this, that payment amount is going to be show a little bit more, but through this platform, because I'm using the supplier booking page instead of the direct booking page, they will not be charged when they click submit. And so all of this, that portion in red, all of that is saying that, okay? And then the last thing is the itinerary. Again, I'm letting them kind of plan their trip. However, I am going to put down a suggested itinerary. So I'm going to just copy and paste this. And tweak it for what we need. So this is just a suggested itinerary. So when they arrive, they check in, they need to go ahead. If it's available to them, they need to go ahead and schedule their COVID test. And then they can plan a reservation for a night together. On the next day, they can plan a relaxing day on the beach or excursions or a spa day. Same thing for the next day if they don't do one or the other. And then here, we're just going to say birthday party for the birthday girl, because this girl's trip, we're going to claim that it's a birthday party. And then on day 5, which is the 21st, they're going to check out and be ready for departure. We're going to make a space, everything consistent. Come back up here, take that bullet point out. So we have that spacing in here. And also we're going to bold and underline, everything consistent. Bold and underline. Let me take that off. All right, so now anytime that you make any changes, sometimes it will save your draft, sometimes it will prompt you to save now, but go ahead and just make sure you're keeping an eye up here on the right-hand corner where you can make sure that anything that you've typed in, that it is saved. And the last thing is cancellation policy. Again, this is something that is standard on all of mine. So I just cut and paste, keeping everything standard and the same. And voila, I'm going to save now. So we can make sure that those are saved at this point. And you have basically the standard part of your trip. All of that is the same. That does not change. That part does not change. None of this changes. So all of that is the same. So that is the standard. Now, to tweak it for the particular trip, I'm going to change the size of this. This is really big. So we want to make sure that they can see it, but it's not so humongous. And we'll put welcome to your, I'll capitalize this, girls trip. We are excited to help you celebrate. Mix. I'm going to take this out because that's not what we need. Again, that's part of the template, so that can go away. That's not anything that we need. So now I'm going to look over at this one, see if there's anything that I can bite. And all of this is, again, standard. So I'm going to put that in there. The only part that isn't is because this was a 10th anniversary for a sorority. So I'm going to place this over here. And voila. Now, for some trips, I do put in pictures. If it is the beginning or a proposal, then I will put in pictures. But for this particular one, I've already sent them, you know, the information for the resort. I've already sent them pictures. They've chosen the one that they wanted to do. So now I'm not going to put in any of that information. We are going to just, at this point, let them start picking their packages. So I think that's pretty good for this portion here. And now we can move on to putting the packages together. So at this time, because we have a certain amount of young ladies going, either they will choose between 1 and 2 girls per room. So you can put on here the travel limits, and you can hit this question mark and it will show you the help information. So it tells you the cabin can be either a minimum of a certain number of travelers to a maximum of a certain number of travelers. So for this particular one, what we're going to have in our rooms is either the young ladies can either do a single room or they can travel together as 2 to a room. So single occupancy or double occupancy. All right. So now we are putting together the packages. So for this particular one, we are going to say this is at the Grand Bahia, and Resort. And this is the Garden View. And right here, you can give any kind of description of the room. You can put in the bedding type. You can put any of that information in this particular part. And I'll show you on this one that we have here. So for this particular one, this is where I actually entered the pictures. And so I put into the description what type of view it was. I lifted some pictures of the rooms, and then I gave a description of the amenities that were available to that particular room type. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm not going to put that information in, but I am going to talk about this part. So if you have a group and you've done the contracted group, or if you have an affinity group with your vendor supplier, and you have chosen a certain amount of room. So maybe you can say, oh, you know what? I'm only really going to sell maybe 2, maybe 3 garden views because I really want to upsell and go with the oceanfront for this particular resort. So you can put in here that if there's a quantity, so you can put 1, 2, or 3, and it's available until the end date of them being able to pay their deposit, and the price I'm going to do for singles. This is going to be, and right now we're just kind of making up a room here, a room amount. So that's for a single occupancy. For double occupancy, we are going to do and I'm going to change that a little bit up here. All right. And the deposit, and the final payment due is going to be, I believe we said September 30th. All right. And we're going to save. And again, these numbers are just for demonstration purposes only. Please make sure that you are following what is on your itinerary from your supplier. So now you can see that we have the Grand Bahia Resort, a garden view. We have 2 rooms listed, and it's starting at $1,489.50, and the deposit is $250. We're going to add one more, and you can add as many packages as you want. We're just going to say the Grand Bahia Resort, and this is going to be the oceanfront. Again, you can put pictures in here, you can put the description, all the amenities, things of that nature. And for this one, we're going to say there's a quantity amount, and we're going to up this one because we really want to sell this one. And so we're going to say that there are 6 rooms available, and they are available until April 30th. A single is going to be $3125.50. And then a single is going to be $1534.50. Again, these numbers are made up, but work with what is on your itinerary when you did your research. And the final payment is due on September 30th, and we're going to save. You can add as many packages as you would like, again, and if they click on that, that information will come down. It will be a drop-down box. So we have 1 room type as the garden view, another room type as the ocean view. So those are options that we have for this particular package. The next thing is the options. So we can do Cancun Club Crawl. Again, we can make a description here. Party bus trip to the hippest Cancun clubs. And the price per person is going to be $75. There is no deposit amount. The quantity limit, you can, and you can do that just so you can see how many people actually book. So I'm just going to say 15, and this is available again through April 30th because we want to have that same single date as they are putting these together. And then we can do one other is the Cancun Sunset Cruise. Cruise on the catamaran. All right. And so for this one is, we're going to say $99, but there is a deposit for this one. The deposit for this one is half the cost. We're not going to do a quantity on this one, and we're going to save the date. It is available until April 30th. So we are done with putting our packages in here. Just for this example purposes, we are done with putting in any excursion options. Again, just for example purposes. And our payment method is going to be the supplier, meaning they provide their financial information. This is a safe, secured platform, so they can be rest assured that this is hopefully not going to be hacked or anything. So this is very safe. And we are going to use that and transfer that information into our supplier. Notice right here that you can provide a monthly schedule if they want to see what that's going to look like. If they go on a payment plan, it will be enabled at the time of booking. So I'm going to click that so that they can see that if they want to make sure that they are making this affordable. And we are done with that part. All right, so now let me go back in here. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to just add the form. So we've done, let me go back. We've done the information for the group trip. We've done the pricing for the group trip. And so the third part is the traveler info. So this is the primary information. So with TravelJoy, there are several forms that you can attach to your group booking page. The ones that have the default, these are all that came with TravelJoy. The one that does not have default, that is the one that you make up. So this one, this particular one that says group travel party, that is one that I created so that I could capture information for the groups, any groups that I make. So again, I'm going to also put on here for the second person. So any additional traveler, if my group has a roommate, then that information is on there as well. And this one, the task to import, the standard group, the standard trip, that just gives you some tasks that you have to complete. So now everything is done. We have saved that draft. So now we can do a preview of what your client will see when they hit the landing page. This is what they will see when they hit the landing page. So they'll see the Cancun, OSIP is the girls trip. I think that's so cute that they get to see a title that you've created, or if they've created one. They also will see the introductory information. They see what's included, what's not included on the trip. They see any payment information that you may want to put in there. a suggested itinerary, or if you have an itinerary or they included one and you want to put that in there so that everyone can see what is going to happen while they are on the trip, your cancellation policy, any packages, and then it tells you about your inventory. So this is what I absolutely love. When you're doing that group trip, you can go in and you can see what your inventory is looking like as you are booking those trips. If you need to contact your lead traveler and say, hey, you know, we only have one room booked. You said it was going to be at least 3 or 4. Let's put some fire under the people. So this is what this does for you. It also, again, with the excursions, notice, remember, I put a quantity on the club crawl, but I did not put one on the sunset cruise. I put a deposit on the sunset cruise, but I did not put one on the club crawl. So it shows you everything that they will see. The other part of it is it gives you the option of choosing the number of travelers per package. It gives you the option of choosing your package, the options of choosing the excursion, excuse me. And then at this point, your traveler is putting in their information. So I'm going to scooch all the way down here to the bottom. And this is, remember, we checked off that we wanted them to see how much it's going to cost them per month. And it gives you a payment date. So if you are creating that monthly payment for your clients, they know that this amount of money is coming out on that day so that they will be in line, or they can actually authorize the full payment. And again, it gives you that part here about this is a safe and secure platform. The last thing that you'll do is you will publish your group booking. Once it's been published, you can copy that link, you can cut and paste it, you can send it to your clients in an email. And now you have your group booking page. It is so very simple. I love TravelJoy. If you would like to try it out, please click on the referral link and it will be half price for you. So only $15 per month. It is a well worth expenditure to use this. I love TravelJoy and I know that you'll love it too. So you can use that referral link and it will be $15 for the first 3 months. So that's only $45, $15. You make, I know I easily spend that just going out to eat easily. So $15, what a sacrifice to be able to at least try this out to see if you really, really like it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Please click that bell so that as we release more videos, you will be in tune to watch. Thank you so much. This has been Kimberly with Dreams to Joy Travel, your favorite travel specialist. I will see you later. And in the meantime, in between time, keep dreaming.